let's get my colleague Somit to tell us what has been announced so far and what impact could it have on India. Somit, take it away.
Well, let's see firstly what is expected or what has been so far announced when it comes to Trump tariff. Now, we know that he's going to impose a 25% tariff on all imports from Mexico and Canada. He also announced that he will impose a 10% tariff on China, which brings the cumulative tariff in the last 1.5 months, which has been imposed on China, to around 20%. Apart from that, he's also saying that there will be a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum imports from all US trade partners, and this would be effective from March 12th, and there would be reciprocal tariffs that are expected to come in from the April 2nd. So these are what the tariffs are expected to come in over the next 1 month or 1.5 months from the US side. So what are the companies that would be impacted because of this? Firstly, when it comes to the chemical companies, keep an eye out for PI Industries, UPL and Jubilant Ingrevia, because they manufacture the top 5 chemicals which is imported by US. So these companies could stand to benefit if a 10% tariff is imposed on China. These companies could stand to benefit. Apart from that, there is auto ancillary stocks like Samvardhana Motherson, Bharat Forge, Sona BLW, JK Tyre, Balkrishna Industries, Sundaram Fastener, Timken India. All these companies have direct exposure to US, but there would be limited impact given the fact that they also have plants in US. But given the complex auto supply chain that we have, there would be a negative indirect impact on these companies, given that most of the auto OEMs do have plant in Mexico to serve the US market. So there could be some pricing pressure for these auto ancillary companies. So keep an eye out for these auto ancillary companies. Apart from that, it's the metal stocks that we need to keep an eye out for. There is Vedanta, Hindalco, Nalco, SAIL, JSW Steel and Tata Steel. Now, direct impact again will be negative, will not be much when it comes to tariff imposition, because direct exposure is very limited of Indian companies to the US market. But again, there would be an indirect impact on prices given the fact that the supply dynamics in the global market would change, which could lead to some pricing pressure. But direct beneficiaries would be one of the companies would be JSW Steel, given the fact that they have a plant in US, and that that contributes around 4.5% to the total revenue of the company. So that stands to benefit. And secondly, there is Hindalco, which still now there is not clarity whether there would be an impact or not on the negative side, given the fact that they have the Novelis plant in US, so that could benefit because of high aluminum prices. But on the negative side, there could be higher raw material prices which could impact the company. But the company believes that they will be exempted, something similar to what we had seen in 2018, but that is still not clear when it comes to Hindalco. And lastly, there is Cummins, which could stand to benefit given the fact that there is a tariff on Mexico may open prospects of higher exports coming in from Cummins. Now currently, Cummins Mexico unit exports nearly 1.5 billion of components and diesel engines to the US market. So if there is a tariff that could come in on Mexico, then this 1.5 billion, a part of this at least, could shift to Indian unit as well. That's what the analysts believe. And lastly, it's the IT sector. Not much of an impact, less than 5% exposure from nearshoring from Mexico and Canada. However, the companies that are most exposed to the US market, if you look at that is Infosys, LTI, Mindtree and HCL Tech, while companies that are least exposed to the US market are KPIT Tech, Tata Tech and Tata Elxsi. So keep an eye out for these stocks in trade, given the fact that Trump tariff on Mexico and Canada will be imposed from March 4th.
Well, thanks for that, Samit. But